And we are live. On out. And now we wait. Like, about that far from my mouth. That sounds about right. Doesn't look quite right in OBS, though. Hold on. Perhaps a little closer. That might be fine. I guess we'll just have to wait till Baldur gets here and he'll know what's going on. Howdy, howdy, do. We are going 1.1, yes. Julie, Ibby, welcome. Got a lot of cool new goodies to show off, most of which I haven't actually used yet. We'll have to see. Merry Saturday, everyone. Got blasted by an ad. I would like to find a more permanent solution to that rather than just having them exist and be forced to let them exist, personally. But we shall see. We shall see. New main menu screen is cool, though. I like that. I like that it's in the same spot as the previous one as well. It's just all fancied up now and has all the new goodies from this update. Morning, hey, Denner. Oh, man. So, if you're not aware, there was a big update for Satisfactory. Playing mid-rolls for 3 minutes disables automatic ads for an hour. That's about the only control you get as a Twitch creator. Yeah, that's certainly something to consider or at least try. Maybe during breaks we can run ads. We'll figure it out eventually. But if you didn't know, Satisfactory released a big update, or at least the next big update is in the experimental phase, as we're seeing right here, and it's got a lot of new goodies, some of which you can see on screen, such as conveyor wall holes, actual garage gates, personnel elevators, which is a nice one, and little cosmetic vents. These guys here. There's a lot going on. So, part of the stream is going to be showing off all the new goodies, and then the other half is going to be actually working towards building the stuff I'm planning on building. Howdy, Clown. Welcome, welcome. It's going to be a relatively shorter one, probably about 2 hours. I have something that I need to do at 12:30, which is 2.5 hours from now. If Joe goes live before then, I will raid him. If not, I sincerely doubt any of you will not be present for that in the first place. So, we'll see how it goes. But, let's get to it. I have been a little busy in the off time. I have once again picked up Satisfactory as a good background game. GSK Kun subscribed at Tier 1 for 6 months in advance. Thank you very much, GSK Kun. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's a lot of faith to put in me. A whole half year's worth. Thank you. Alright. So, this one's going to be a little hard to explain, but welcome back. We're at the coasts. And continuing my tradition of slowly expanding this place every single time I need a new oil product. We started with plastic over there, which we use to ship down there to make circuit boards, I believe. Then came over here so that I could make a little bit of residual power, but mostly biofuel. Or liquid biofuel. I don't know anything about this game, so I'll just watch and lurk. Lamau, thank you very much. I mean, I wholeheartedly recommend this game, so I hope you like what you see. New update just added a lot of really cool stuff. One of which I'm actually going to get to show off immediately. And then over here, once again, the call for oil from my American roots has resonated within me. And so I have harvested the land's natural resources for one specific purpose. This time around, that specific purpose is to create fabric. So everything else is mostly residual. Now, the reason we're creating fabric is because I would like to start creating nuclear power. Also, everyone say hi to Pub. He's just sort of levitating. There used to be a refinery there. It's not there anymore. I think when he spawns in, he'll probably just fall. So, let me check. In order to even consider harvesting nuclear power as a resource, I need to start making or mass producing iodine-infused filters. Morning, Flora. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Good morning. Your factory is huge now. Can't believe how far you've come. This one is definitely expanding, which I like. I like coming back here every once in a while and just adding another thing onto it, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. This is very fun to me. What's your go-to kind of game? I don't actually know. I play a little bit of this, that, and everything else. It's very hard for me to say that there's any one specific game that I enjoy more than the others. That feels like a cop-out answer, but I genuinely can't find one that feels, pardon the pun, satisfactory in these circumstances. Let's see. So, we need to start making iodine-infused filters. Because if I'm going to be harvesting nuclear power, I'm going to need a bunch of filters to power my suit so that I can actually harvest it without dying. Right? Makes sense. So, first things first, we got to produce gas filters. Right? So, in order to make gas filters, we need fabric, which, if you don't have the polyester fabric recipe, is not a renewable resource. But because we do have the polyester fabric recipe, that means that we can craft it forever. All right? And one fabric refinery is enough to make 2 coal-infused filters, or whatever they are, for resisting poison, right? For a gas mask filter. Gotta make sure you don't accidentally give yourself radiation poisoning. Absolutely, yeah. And so once we have that, if I'm remembering correctly, so we'll be able to make 7.5, we'll be able to make 15, and I think 3.75 is divisible by 15, or 15 is divisible by 3.75? Yes, okay, good. Makes my life super easy, which is great. So I'm already producing the amount of fabric I need, which I knew beforehand before I built the entire thing. But it's always good to double check, because if you'll remember from my steel factory, I built an entire second floor and didn't check if the second floor was necessary until it was fully built and functional and customized. So, you know. Recent art of Jam Jam was amazing. Jelly must be so tickled. I absolutely was. I love when Flora draws Jammy. She just gets it, man. She just gets it. So, we've got 120 crude oil over here. It's going into one that is making polymer resin, 130 and 20, and one that is making heavy oil residue with residual polymer resin. So we've got a total of 60 heavy oil and 150 polymer resin. That 60 heavy oil gets processed into 40 fuel per minute. Meanwhile, the 150 polymer resin gets processed into 60 of it goes to plastic, another 60 plastic, so 120. The remaining 30, perfect amount, makes our fabric. Will you be reading today, Jellyman? I will not be, no. I think it's a Joe on his own kind of day for the finale. Should be interesting. I don't think, unfortunately, I'm going to be able to listen to all of the finale of Chapter 4, though, because not only do I have work today, I have an early shift today. It starts an hour earlier than my usual start time, which sucks. But I guess I'll have to see the VOD. That'll be nice. I'm sure it'll be fine. Work itself will be perfectly fine. Anyway, so we've got all this plastic, and we've got just the right amount of fabric. That fabric is going down the line and going right into this drone port. It's going to fill it very slowly, unfortunately, but it's there nonetheless, right? Now, the thing about drones is they need power. Joe said on his own. It's not Joe on his own. He said last stream that Mouse will be reading with him. Gotcha. So, obviously, drones need power. Right? So, everything else this factory is making is in order to produce said power. I totally get that making safety equipment first is the logical progression path, but it kind of spoils the fantasy of owning a factory where you can't use the real-world industrialist technique of making impoverished children harvest dangerous substances for you. Truly the most liberal video game of all time. The fantasy of an expanding industrial revolution with no human cost. Koru, how quickly you forget that in this game we play as the impoverished child. Simmer on that one for a bit. We are the expendable human resource. I'm simply making my own suffering more efficient to protect my company's bottom line. As is the role of any Oliver Twist-esque figure in an industrial setting such as this. Anyway, we have 40 total plastic. I think. Yeah, 40 total plastic. That's getting processed into 80 empty canisters. Now, you'll notice here, I merge it and then split it at the exact same ratio. I didn't notice that until just now. So, have fun with that. That completely superfluous addition. How would you feel if Satisfactory 2.0 was an expansion with a separate new region instead of expanding the existing region, but you could actually take part in environmentally destructive acts like fracking? I don't know. I feel like that's not really in line with the fantasy that I see in Satisfactory. I feel like if I had more control over the physical shape and condition of this environment, it would be less interesting to me. They will add underwater building a la Subnautica to cement the fear. I mean, given how much of the map is currently taken up by water, I think adding some underwater elements is perfectly plausible for a future update. There's a lot of ocean here to plumb. This is, easily an entire biome's worth of space up here that you could very easily play around with. Anyway, so we've got 40 canisters, 80 canisters, which leaves us with 40 excess. When we're packaging our 40 fuel, it's a 1-to-1 ratio with our 40 canisters. So the excess goes through once it's overflowing, right? Gets taken to the awesome sink, as does the packaged fuel. Gets processed. The actual packaged fuel we're using goes into the drone port so that the drone is powered at its own station and will be able to safely deliver to the desert where we're going to be building all of our nuclear power. And then any excess gets sunk. So with this one little node, we have fabric production that is completely self-sufficient in its delivery to the factory it will need to go to. I really like drones, personally. I really like drones. They tickle my brain in just the right way. As far as a delivery method.
I don't care how your factory looks. Just make it efficient.
Okay, I'm sorry, Aid. I'll do better. They added new little flavor lines where if you put down stuff in the production tab or the like, she'll compliment you and she'll tell you you're doing a good job. And if you put down cosmetics, she'll yell at you. So you're separating yourself from the consequences of your actions by attributing them to the company. Classic middle management vibes. You know what? I can't fault you on that one. However, I don't get paid enough to qualify for middle management. I don't even have dental. Honestly, it's arguable whether I even have teeth in this setting. You know, speaking of, hold on. Speaking of myself as a physical object and safety compliance, gotta make sure. So one of the things that they introduced in this update is straight pipes. You can now set pipes to bend at right angles. So I needed water for these refineries. And this is gonna go all the way over here, because apparently none of this other water is actually shallow, is actually deep enough for me to process it. So I have this pipe coming from all the way over here, where I was grabbing water for the biofuel. And so I just have it coming along this way, and since it bends at right angles, it's actually not that bad to look at. Slugs got a visual update. They glow more. I think they have new sound effects as well. Oh, they're supposed to leave a little slug trail. Hold on. I think it happens with blue ones, maybe. Oh, there is right now. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's how it's supposed to work. You used to be able to just hotkey stuff from your inventory onto your person, and now it seems like hitting those hotkeys will place it in the dimensional depot. Hey, little guy. Yeah, it's not working. I don't know why. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, that's what this little factory over here is. I'm gearing up for nuclear power, and again, part of gearing up for nuclear power is I need to make filters so that I can actually survive an encounter with nuclear power. You know, it's very important that that be the case. I really love drones, though. Once I get nuclear power set up, number one priority for me is going to be, is going to be making a massive drone hub that can deliver stuff to and from anywhere I need it to. I'm going to use all of that residual toxic waste to make plutonium fuel cells to power all the drones. Really excited for that. But the first step of many, just to make a little self-sufficient factory here from one resource that will deliver it to the desert as necessary. This right here is why I think oil processing is my favorite part of the game. I just love that you get so many different things from one product, or from one, like, beginning resource. It's very satisfying to me how many options you have from crude oil. It's really nice. These are the factories that I love building the most. Perhaps harkening back to my oil baron roots as an American. Either way, that's all set up. Pipes are neat. I also really like pipes in this game. Mostly because I made a little pipe intersection blueprint set, and I feel really happy anytime I get to set those down. Makes me very satisfied. Alright, now for... Hey, buddy, you okay? You leaning a little? You alright? Okay. Now, let's head back over to the steel factory so I can show you that it is fully operational, yet not quite finished in terms of the exterior, because I don't have an eye for architecture. That's what always kept me from playing The Sims. Come on over here to this Pioneer Railgun. Go. Uranium up there. I think some uranium there as well. I don't really know how you would exactly harvest that one, but it's a spot, that's for sure. Time to come over to steel production. thing that always gets me about pipes is this game is that pumps always feel a bit wonky. It might just be me not getting used to them, though. Pipes, I don't understand pipes and fluid dynamics, but I do know that if you make a water tower that's above the height of the stuff that you're actually pumping the water to, you won't have to worry about fluid dynamics ever. So we got that set up. Oh, here's something fun that I don't think they announced in the update itself, or talked about. Slide jumping now builds momentum. New tech. Somehow this just continues to be a movement game. I don't know how. I don't know how it does it. It's really nice. Okay, so over here is our almost entirely complete steel production factory. There are still some things as far as like the cosmetic connections that need to be made. But it has this little road with road barriers that leads into the truck factory, has enough space for it to turn around. I added more of these little support beams under the catwalk because they make me happy when I see them. Even less reason for this interior to exist. Nice drone ports. Here's a new prop that I quite enjoy. Corner road barrier. Very Hex-Chen-esque, I believe. I quite like it. I quite like it. Using it in a couple spots here, which is nice. What else do we have to show off here? Right. I'm still very proud of how this turned out. So this is delivering turbo fuel from weapons manufacturing, and that goes underneath, gets processed in that whole area that you can't see in there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. And then gets put into both this truck station as fuel, and eventually this drone port as fuel. So once again, I have a little factory that has its own little drone intersection that I quite enjoy. And then up here, just producing a bunch of steel beams. This entire factory just produces steel beams. How many does it produce, actually? Let me see. I never did the math on how much it actually produces total. Have you tried riding the drone since the new update? Physics might have changed since then. You make a good point. You make a good point. I'll have to find a drone that's actually delivering something. 15 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 15 times 18. 270 steel beams, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering how much it costs to produce them, I feel like that's probably a good amount. Let's find a drone that I can ride to victory. I think the one at my aluminum factory might be... No, the one at my aluminum factory is not going to be moving because all the drones that I have set up right now essentially produce things to capacity and then don't sink those resources. Which does provide some complications vis-a-vis drone ports and riding them for comedic value. But let's see here. Maybe we can figure something out. Maybe we can figure something out. I don't think that... Well, I guess if they changed slide hopping to carry momentum, maybe there have been some physics changes here. It goes so fast. I don't know if it has like a cap or whether it's just cumulative. I don't know. But either way, getting around is very nice now. They also changed the, I can't remember if they're called edge runners or blade runners. They changed the jump height that you get from it. Give me 1 second here. Good to go. Sorry about that. Ooh, make sure to crouch, because if you crouch, these things can't see you. Fun little tech update. Tech update, not an update. It's been like that forever. But it works even if you're flying. I have a lot of new tools that I haven't really gotten to play around with yet. Namely, there is now more oil which can be plumbed from this place. Hello. Two. Two of them there. Oh, give me another second. Hold on. Sorry again for the interruptions. Again, like I said, I have something that needs to be done at 12:30. That's been moved up to 11:30. So we've only got about an hour. That does shorten our time, but perhaps it'll help give us a little more focus. It was never intended to be a very long stream anyway. I just really wanted to stream and show off some of the new stuff. That should be perfectly fine. I don't know why I'm coming over here. Right, I was coming over here to show off that I have the resources to process this now. I have, where is it? It's production. Particle accelerator, resource well pressurizer. I can now use this to tap into wells and resources like that and the like. So that'll be very useful. Because there are a lot of nodes, I think, of gases and nitrogen and the like. Straight up fracking. Which should be very fun. And I will need to get to that as part of nuclear power. Now, as far as the nuclear power dream this stream, I think the first thing we need to do is start connecting our power lines over to the desert. Because as I said before, the plan is to build all of my nuclear power in the desert biome. I got one big biome. I can just move all of the nuclear power stuff over there, not have to worry about it. Do I have something going on? I feel like I'm not going very fast across these. Am I not conserving my momentum properly? Has slide jumping just made me feel that much faster? This feels awful slow. You desensitized because of slide jumping? Probably. That makes sense, yeah. There you go. So let's see here. What's the most... What the fuck is... I'm sorry. What is this? What exactly is this? Does this have power? Why do you exist? Hey, buddy? Now's not the time. Oh. Oh, man. That looked rough. That looked rough. I think I set this up specifically so that I could zipline across it back when I was just using a parachute to traverse. Traverse. What? Who the hell says traverse? You have a train network connecting the desert to uranium. Might as well make one if you want power. I hadn't considered that. No, I don't have a train network connecting uranium to the desert. Although I could very feasibly make one. I would like to blueprint a specific design for that, though. Now that things can connect directly, I'm considering changing my entire train highway setup. And I'm also considering changing the train highway in other ways, considering that I think drones are just they make more sense in my head than a giant train network. Because spatially, they don't take up as much room. An old guy at work used the word motate. You can start using that. I think I would like less words that make me appear strange, personally. What is happening over here? Listen, I told myself many moons ago that I would delete this factory as soon as I got power, and I still haven't done it yet. Something must be done about this. I feel like spiritually you'd wear a bow tie. Dolmec, you are saying that just to be mean. You're saying that just to be mean. Boulder, I think it's missing a leg because these rocks got in the way of me actually placing this. I didn't have Nobelisks mass-produced yet. So now that I do... Yeah, they have new detonation animations as well. I don't know why I'm repairing its leg, considering that I pine for its demise, but, you know, I guess all things are worthy of care and attention every once in a while. I'm saying it just to be mean by about 95%. A small 5% part of me thinks it's the truth. I think you should reprimand that 5% of you to be a little meaner. Here's the biggest thing that I'm most excited about. Well, genuinely, one of the things I'm most excited about in the new update. Got this big ol' wreckage just sitting there, smoldering. Nothing you can do about it, right? Except... now you can dismantle all of it and clean it up. And it gives you materials. Granted, they're like beginner level materials, so they're not all that useful at this stage of the game. But it's visual clutter that you can clean up and doesn't get in the way of your factories and your building and your aesthetics anymore. It's beautiful. There are so many of those that I still need to dismantle. And on a more like explorational note, it also helps you get a better visual of when you have actually already like found a hard drive, you know? If I go to one of these, I might assume maybe that there might still be a hard drive in it if I don't know that I've already gotten it. But if it's dismantled and it's not there, obviously there can't be a hard drive there because there's not even a freighter there. So I've been going around and dismantling these with glee. However, if you dismantle a freighter while it still has a hard drive inside of it, that does destroy the hard drive. Which makes sense, because, you know, they're designed to be this little mini challenge where you have to input a specific resource to output the hard drive. You know? Is this another one, or is this just a weird rock structure? Oh, I think there was a Sommer sloop here, yeah. Or a Mercer sphere? I'm not sure. I haven't really explored this area all that much. As we're making our way over to the desert, let us not forget the specialist, most smart, most hardworking girl in the entire world, who we will stop by to visit on our way there. You're not overwriting your main save, right? Because these betas can sometimes reset world features. I backed up my saves before going into the experimental branch. If that's what you're asking. Let's see, where is she? Where is she? She's here somewhere. Is that her? No, that's her sister. Is she not here? Uh-oh. Turn around. Change course. Reverse course. Maintain velocity. There she is. Oh. There she is. She's doing such a good job. I'm so proud of you, honey. All right. Weapons manufacturing still going great. God, that speed is nice. Why is this a movement game? Who decided that would be the case? What genius chose that? Look at how fast you can go. I think this is like as fast as you can go. So, let's see. Weapons manufacturing now has 2 drone ports. This one was very satisfying to set up because it fits right on in there. It's nice. It's very nice. 100 bits from Julie Gordeau. I've been getting back into art recently, and I attribute a lot of my inspiration and desire for it to your stream, so I wanted to give you a little thank you, Bagman. Aw, appreciate it. Glad I could be your muse in that case. Getting into art and drawing was genuinely one of the best things that has happened to me in ever, I think. Also, for some reason, the display resolution is messed up in the experimental branch. So whenever someone logs into Steam or like starts playing a game, it takes up a solid 1/4 of my screen. I say that because Boulder just launched something that had livestock in the name, and it covered most of my screen. So let's see. We're going to need to move power over this way. Finn Dorset's Institute for Livestock Replication. Gotcha. All right. So, is this our easternmost territory? I believe so, yes, since we didn't actually set up any power towers over there. We just carried power using power lines. Although I could set up a power tower there. That wouldn't be too bad. What to do, what to do. Oh, what? I probably shouldn't be standing in the middle of the road. I think... Where are we trying to get to? We're trying to get all the way over there. I think it would be easiest to drag power from the truck stops. Let's go over there and we will create power tower to drag. Off we go. God, that's so nice. That slide is beautiful. Alright. Where can we grab power? Probably over here would be best. And we will put it... have you seen / tried the game Haste? I have seen it. I haven't tried it. I watched Walrus play it back when it was a Next Fest demo game. Okay, let's just clear out some area here. Oh, here's something fun and new they added. Actual destruction. Whenever you cut down a tree. Very fun. Very fun indeed. Okay. I think you'd really like it. I might redeem it once I get to 50k points. I wouldn't mind that. We need a power tower platform. Put it right about... Oh yeah, here's something interesting as well. There's no more maximum nudge distance. The nudge distance is infinite. Which is actually massive. That is an insanely convenient change. You connect you there. And now we can start traveling. We want to go over there, and then probably to there, I imagine. Oh, that's much farther away than I thought it was. Huh. I was showing off, just, like, generally the premise and the start of the game to a friend the other day. And I started in this area, the Forest Highlands. It's actually a really good starting point. Which surprised me. What is aggro towards me? What manner of creature? Whoops. Although I went into the canyon. I want to continue that save almost entirely because I have not actually explored this area in this save at all. Like, this place is relatively untapped aside from the weapons manufacturing plant, which dips into it a little. Alright. Time to fight some spiders. Hopefully they don't fight back. Nice. Okay, cool. I like that. Very nice. Oh, I have so much shit I need to clear out. I don't actually think I have any gas filters on me right now. Oh, sorry, Slugchan. Good thing I have a lot of obelisks. Come here, you. That's what they're supposed to leave behind a little trail. A little slug trail. You go there. You go there. I'm surprised you haven't finished the game at this point, by the way. Is it really that long, or are you taking your time with it? A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. If I wanted to, I could probably, like, find a way to brute force produce all of these project assembly parts. But I'm setting my own goals, and I'm taking it at my own pace, so that I don't get burnt out. And that's been working pretty well so far. We want power tower there. We want rotated like that. You out a little bit so you're not clipping into the concrete. Looking good. Go on up here. Connect you to... is that going to be too far? Damn! And I like that spot, too. Okay, here's what we do. Take that blueprint. Auto-connect. Nope, we want blueprint. Build. Nope, not underneath. There you go. Next to it. Oh, you still can't rotate whenever you're nudging. That's a little annoying. So just take that. And we nudge it ever so carefully to another ideal aesthetic spot. Dismantle that one. Perhaps this will work for our purposes? Yes, it will. And it doesn't even cut into any trees. Nice. Okay. Next one. Can we shoot for... No. Let's shoot for there. What if Mouse had an April Fool's bit where she was a squirrel PNG tuber and replaced cheddar with peanuts? Aren't squirrels, like... Isn't acorns their thing, typically? Hold on, hold on. Hey, no, go fuck yourself. Go fuck fuck off, fuck off. Fuck off. I'm just gonna spray and pray. I don't... Are they just immune to bullets? There we go. Damn. And you could redeem 10k points to play the That's a Lot of Nuts clip from Kung Pao. You have a very specific idea of this bit. Did you formulate the shape of it just now, or is this like something you pitched and she said, no, I don't think so? Good to keep in the back pocket for next year. I think Boulder formulated the punchline and worked backwards. I think that tracks remarkably well, yes. Okay, so now we want to build foundation here. We want it a little deeper into the ground. Blueprints, power tower platform. I'm going to turn you, I think, something like... There you go. Turn you this way. There you go. And then since nudge distance is infinite, and everything is good and pure with the world, we move you to about there, I think? No, I think you need to be a little closer. About there. Then connect you. Fuck. Man. That one felt nice too. Alright, lock it in. Nudge it. Get it in there as best you can. Move it a little closer. Delete this one. Does that suit your tastes? Fuck. Okay, third time's the charm. Third time's the charm. Let's do this. Alright, we just nudge it in. And now it's sort of clipping into the edge, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Get rid of this one again. Third time's the charm. Yes! That's how we do. That's how we do. Now we gotta figure out what the hell's happening here. I say we go for the classic. Connect it underneath. Zoop it along. Zooping right along. Goes under there to there. The things I do to keep my aesthetics consistent, huh? The things I do for love. And then you might be asking yourself, well, Jelly, what the hell are you going to do over there? Not to worry. I have a plan. We want architecture. They also added a bunch of new beams. You got shelf beams, H-beams, braided cables, braided cable clusters, round concrete beams. Quite nice. A lot of options. But what we're looking for right now is the road barrier. 1 and 1. 1 and 1. Let me hover real quick because I can do that. Come on, come on. You got this. You got this. In there. In there. Okay, that's fine. We can work with that. Okay. Hold on. Just one. Everything I touch turns to ruin. Luckily, we have a guideline for where it went, but that won't stop me from the crippling weight of what I've done. What? Why is that misaligned? No, it's not misaligned. There we go. I hate it here. Have I ever mentioned that? Okay. Get back up there. Take a little puff from the inhaler. We're fine. Everything's okay. We're going to be just fine. This is why we build jetpacks, people. So these sorts of things don't hold us back. In the meantime, let's set this up. One there. One there. One there, one there. Okay, let's try that again. Power tower platform. Go there. And there. And set. You connect to that. All right, looking good. What's our next connection point? I think anything that looks scenic is actually a little too far away, which is a shame. So we will connect to you. Does that clip? Man, I hate it here. Fuck. Really nice, too. Okay, we could go for, you know, not really a distance runner, but more of an aesthetics piece. I can work with that. I can live with that. Put you there. Nudge you on over this way. Get you about centered on that rock. There. Go there. Nice. I like that. And this sets up perfectly for when I will eventually plumb this little spot here for its crude oil. Already got this marked on the map and everything. I'm pretty sure these are 4 pure crude oil deposits, if I'm not mistaken. You there. Then power tower platform. Facing the right way. We want you right about... let's say... what feels right? We'll say thereabouts feels right. Connect that up. Looking good. A little bit of clipping there, but that's okay. I'll live. I don't know where we're headed is the problem. We're just sort of going to the desert. What do I need, first and foremost, for these filters? I need iron and coal. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to build a little side grade here. There, there, there. And then we're going to build a radio tower. Production, no. Special organization. I don't know why it's an organization, but it is. And then find which side has the power plug, because it will annoy me if it's not in the right spot. Where is the power plug for this? Where is power plug? Where is power plug? There you are, buddy. Okay. Good, good, good. So you're going to fade. Well, I guess I want you fade. Okay, doesn't matter anyway. Power plug is on the opposite side of where that is. That's fine. I can live with it. I won't care that much. Let's see. Plenty of water deposits. Not seeing any coal yet here, which is a little annoying. Sulfur deposit there, though. Impure? Why even exist? A lot of coal over there. Oh my god, a lot of coal over there. Jeez. I wonder if that's like the Coral Highlands coal generator spot. Maybe. Since, for once, Coal Lake doesn't seem that achievable. Let's see. I think we keep expanding into this general direction. Once we make it to the plains, then we can figure out where exactly we're going with all this. That seems like a nice spot. I like that the desert area has these winding, like, not so much footpaths, but they kind of look like that, if you know what I mean. I like that a lot. Let's see, actually, can we go up here? Not comfortably, no. And forward. Here, maybe? No. What if there, then up here? I think that's the play. Thereabouts, maybe? I think here will be easier to fit our foundation blueprint. Put a foundation there. Blueprints. Power tower platform. Turn it that away. Man, if I could get this, like, a little deeper in there. Maybe. Alright, how about this? We go for you there. And then we put you there. Then set you up. Nice! I am an architectural genius. An unparalleled mind of the 21st century. That's how we do. Okay. Then this guy is going to go... Do they make new music for the desert? Are we going high, or are we going reasonable? Dude, I think we go up here because I'm going to have to get power up here for the nuclear power plant eventually. That seems like a good spot. Yep, we'll go here. And blueprint, power tower platform. Go. Thereabouts honestly looks good. Looks good to me. Yep. So that goes there. That goes there. We're almost there. It's in sight. It's in sight. I think we build one hereabouts. Because this seems like a nice spot. And then I saw you. I'm just going to tank the radiation, personally. Me personally, I think I'm just gonna win. Alright, and then we put this somewhere about maybe there, I'd say. Yeah, it seems like a decent spot. Build a power tower. Facing generally the way I would want it to, yeah. Go there. Delete that one. Grab this. Connect you on over to ow. To there. Looking good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Grab this slug chin while we're here. Yoink. And then I think we finally have one that can go down to the Great Plains. Oh, okay. So we'll go down here first, I suppose. Oh, that is much farther away than I thought it was. Okay, gotcha. This place is much more vast than I was expecting. Oh boy. Not a bad thing. Gives us plenty of space to work with, but holy shit, my depth perception is quite bad. That's not quite sticking into the land in the way that I like it. One moment, please. We're going to build you here instead. Because that should be a more even surface for you to stick. There we go. That's more like what I was expecting. There to there. I don't love the way that those connect, but you know what? We're getting there. Then, can you make it there? No, I think we'll build you right here. Or do we go here? Maybe here? Does this seem like a satisfying spot, perhaps? Or do we want it in the middle of this dune? I think we want it in the middle of this dune. That seems like a good spot. God, they would really hate to see me plant a power grid. Power grid infrastructure specialists would really hate to see me coming. Wouldn't they? Okay. There to there. There. These guys. Still click. There we go. That solves it. You go there, and then we have another little extension with a radio tower. Because I think this is far enough away that it'll actually matter. Or do we want to go right into the heart of this? I think we want to go right into the heart of this first. One more. And then we can set it up. Where do we put this? We put it in the valley between these two dunes, maybe? How far can it go? Do I believe in NL's slippery slope of two beers theory? No. Nor do I have any idea what that means. Explain yourself. Are you bit laundering again, Pub? Sorry, Boulder, we've talked about this. We've talked about this, Boulder. You can't just launder bits over here. there. That goes there. And then you go here. I think I got to do that on the other side. Nope, other side's a-okay. You connect from there to... Well, that I don't like, so here's what we're going to do. Power tower platform. You go there. There to there. And I'll say that when playing the fallacy game, that the slippery slope is real for some things, and that some things is specifically when you want 2 beers. Explain. Explain. What the fuck does that even mean? You can't just say that as if I understand that. I don't drink regularly. It's never just 2 beers. I can personally attest that sometimes it is. Actually, no, you're right. It's never just 2 beers because it's 1 beer and then you stop drinking it halfway through because it sucks. Wow! That's a lot of iron! Holy shit! Okay. 1 second, please. Okay. So we did find coal. It's all the way over there. Which is perfectly fine, because again, we're getting our product shipped in. And it looks like we've got ample iron to work with here. Good lord, that's... Okay. I'm starting to think also that in addition to nuclear power, perhaps I mass produce iron here. Combine all these into one huge iron ingot factory. You understand where my head's going with this, C8. I'm glad you're here. This is the uranium that we're going to be plumbing. Although, I guess if we build a train system, we can also pull it from the waterfall there. And maybe over there? The nukes project is certainly going, although we're going to have to cut it short here. Because our deadline has arrived. Didn't get much done, although I guess connecting power all the way over to here is a pretty significant step. We've got plenty set up for the future. I honestly would make the nuclear power plant into a menacing building in the mountains. I'm trying to give myself a wide, flat land to work with here. But at the very least, I know that I won't be wanting for iron. That's for sure. Iron? Iron. Howdy, Rodney. You've come at literally the last moment. I have to head out now, so we're going to save here. Aaron earned an iron urn. So, saved. Let's get up to the top of our radio tower. Bye, Jelly Janet. That's not my name anymore. That's not my name anymore. You're the one that made me change it. Alright. Look out upon this vast land and know that when we return next Saturday, there will probably be, like, at least a factory here. I hope. God, this place is huge. Alright. Save one more time because we got to a more scenic vista. Alrighty. That's going to be all for me today. I will be back tomorrow with more Heaven's Vault. That's all for Satisfactory Saturday. A shorter installment, but always a fun one nonetheless. Hopefully I'll get to show off more stuff from 1.1 next time. Alrighty, folks. Have a good one. See ya.